Hello, greetings. This is Zahra Jawad Dash Radha on one of my YouTube channels, and Zahra Laila Jawad on Facebook. So today I'm going to talk about ask those who have been in contact with the Prophet Muhammad and not according to my Shia principles and things, beliefs that ask those who know if you do not know. And those are the Ahl Bayt, the thoroughly purified. The five, especially the five holy, pure family members, including Prophet Muhammad, his cousin son-in-law Ali, his daughter Fatima, his two grandsons Hassan and Hussein. So the reason why I had to do this research and think about it is because I started to have doubts many years back about my Shia Islam, and then I started to question everything, like why ask the family only? I know it says in our Shia Islam that we are supposed to ask the family members only, and thereafter the progeny of Prophet Muhammad, which comes from Ali and Fatima. Fatima is only daughter, surviving daughter, as we are told, who had children from Ali, the first Imam, as I was a 12er Shia. So I had to put these things aside and think about also Yazid and Imam Hussein. Why couldn't Imam Hussein save Yazid through the blessings, we are told, instead of fighting for the right that was usurped by the Umayyads? So couldn't there be another way to come peacefully and make them believe in what Imam Hussein, we were told, says in, and not only that, it's written in from our history books, the Shia historical Islamic historical books on Karbala. So why Yazid, Prophet Muhammad's grandson, Imam Hussein, told Yazid's army that I am who he is. He's the grandson of Prophet Muhammad, and who you also, the other side, also believe in and practice Islam and follow and obey. So like my Shia ulamas, not as much as I could, but as they have, but as much as I could in my chronic fatigued, maddened self, do research online and try to find things. So some of the things I found that I had to look into the Sunni hadiths and the Sunnah from the Sunni side. So there are some things like ask those. No, like I started to think, why not ask those? Now started to think, ask those who have been in contact with Prophet Muhammad, and not only the family members, because although we are told they are thoroughly purified and all this, and they are there to guide us, still, and they are pure, still I felt that I had to look into the Sunni hadiths and ask Yazid and ask, really go deep into the matter. Like Abu Sufyan and Muawiyah, the Umayyad side. We were told who clung on to the idolatry and were hypocrites, didn't really accept Islam. So why didn't they really accept Islam? I still had to find out the reason why, as the Shias say. So that's why I had to go to the Sunni hadiths. And another thing is in the Quran, Hazrat Dawood was reprimanded. He realized his mistake, that he only asked one brother and made a decision and not the other brother. That is a Quran verse. That is a Quran ayat. So now, leaving my imams and I've become a former Shia and a former Muslim according to the Shia religion, although the Sunnis don't accept us, Shias, whether Twelver or Ismailis or whoever, as the Muslims. And then I would say that they don't accept Hazrat Abraham, the Quran verse which says that Hazrat Abraham was the Shia of Nuh, which of course has a very important meaning when the Quran ayat is given like this about Hazrat Abraham, because we are told to follow Hazrat Ibrahim, the father of Islam, right? Or religion, the true religion, oneness in Allah, a belief in the oneness of Allah. Sorry, I'm not able to speak properly, so please forgive me and overlook my mistakes. I hope you understand what I mean and my errors. I hope you, forgive and overlook my errors and my inarticulation. So I wanted to ask those who were in contact with Prophet Muhammad at his time, and all I could find and go and find through the Sunni hadiths, what Aisha said, what Muawiyah said, what Abu Sufyan said, what Abu Huraira said, and from the Sunnah, before reaching the Sunnah and all, here are some. I have taken a little shortcut to show you some hadiths from the Sunni sources. One such hadith is that when Aisha said, this is in Sahih Bukhari, and I'm just taking a shortcut for now. Then I could find later on. I could find what he did, how he treated the people in his time. So ask those who have been in contact with Prophet Muhammad, and not the Ahlul Bayt, and not the narrations about Prophet Muhammad, through our Ahlul Bayt, Imams and all. So here in Sahih Bukhari 72:715, Aisha said, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women. Muhammad's own wife complained of the abuse that the women of her religion suffered relative to other women. So I found this Sahih Bukhari hadith in Amazon.com. Here someone has given the comments. So if you really want a great laugh, then I would definitely buy this book. So here which book, the Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim he's quoting from. So here it says, Holy Bible, the most dangerous book. But this is a review by Lowe on Amazon.com. So if you really want a great laugh, then I would definitely buy this book. Right? I think if you really want a great love, then I would definitely buy this book. ... I think he should actually read his Quran and see for himself that his prophet was a pedophile, rapist, murderer, etc. I will gladly teach him on Islam. Quran, Surah 8, verse 12. I will cast terror into the hearts of those who disbelieve. Therefore strike off their heads and strike off every fingertip of them. Quran, Surah 9, Surah Tawbah, verse 29. Fight those who believe not in Allah nor the last day, nor hold that forbidden which hath been forbidden by Allah and His Messenger, nor acknowledge the religion of truth, even if they are of the people of the book, until they pay the jizya with willing submission and feel themselves subdued. Sahih Bukhari 72:715. A woman came to Muhammad and begged her to stop her husband from beating her. Her skin was bruised so badly that it is described as being greener than the green veil she was wearing. Muhammad did not admonish her husband, but instead ordered her to return to him and submit to his sexual desires. Sahih Bukhari 72:715 again. Aisha said, I have not seen any woman suffering as much as the believing women. Muhammad's own wife complained of the abuse that the women of her religion suffered relative to other women. Sahih Muslim 4:2127. Muhammad struck his favorite wife, Aisha, in the chest one evening when she left the house without his permission. Aisha narrates, he struck me on the chest, which caused me pain. You don't, okay, you play around with your wife, like some Sunni say, that he was just playing and joking. But the accident, so I don't know, but here I just take Aisha's words literally. He struck me on the chest, which caused me pain. Sahih Muslim 9:3506. Muhammad's fathers-in-law, Abu Bakr and Umar, amused him by slapping his wives, Aisha and Hafsa, for annoying him. According to the hadith, the Prophet of Islam laughed upon hearing this. His marriage to Aisha, she was 6 years old and had sex with her when she was 9 years old. His marriage to his adopted son's wife, Zaid, a divorcee now, Zainab bin Josh. So thanks to Lord. There's someone who says the Holy Bible, the most dangerous book. So L-O, has replied, sorry if I have not pronounced his name properly, about the Quran and the Hadiths, right? Sunni, from the Sunni sources. Like, which is the most dangerous book, actually? I think this is in reply to whether the Holy Bible is or the Quran is the most dangerous book, and following Prophet Muhammad, his hadiths, and his Sunnah would be very dangerous. Okay, here we come to Wikipedia now. The military career of Muhammad. So I'm looking at all sides from trying to, and now first starting from the Sunni hadith and the Quran ayats, and now here we are, military career of Muhammad, Sunnah, the life story of Prophet Muhammad. Alongside his campaign against the Quraysh, Muhammad led campaigns against several other tribes of Arabia. most notably the three Arabian Jewish tribes of Medina and the Jewish fortress of Khaybar. He expelled the Banu Qaynuqa tribe for violating the constitution of Medina in 624, followed by the Banu Nadir, who were expelled in May 625 after being accused of plotting to assassinate him. In early 627, he ordered the execution of all men and one woman of the Banu Qurayza tribe who secretly made agreements with the Quraysh and their allies as they laid siege to Medina in the Battle of the Trench, violating the constitution of Medina. Finally, in 628, he besieged and invaded the Jewish fortress of Khaybar, which hosted more than 10,000 Jews, which Muslims sources say was retaliation for planning to ally themselves with the local Arab pagan tribes. So we say, all of us actually, the Shia Muslims and the Sunni Muslims, that all the wars were led by the offensive side was the pagan Arabs, the Jews, and like that. So, and we Muhammad was on the defensive side to protect oneself. So let's see if this is true. In the final years of his life, Muhammad sent several armies against the Byzantine Empire and the Ghassanids in northern Arabia and the Levant before conquering Mecca in 630 and leading a campaign against some Arab pagan tribes close to Mecca. Leading a campaign okay, so he's been leading final years of Muhammad's life. Muhammad sent several armies against the Byzantine Empire. Why? And the Ghassanids in northern Arabia and the Levant before conquering Mecca in 630. So he conquered Mecca. It was a conquest, meaning he went back and he took the Kaaba. He just conquered Mecca. Whatever you can read the details about this, how he took over the Kaaba and made it the house of Allah and took out all idols from it, as we are told from the historic facts, right? No, I mean, we don't know whether those are facts or not. We need proof for it. Okay, so I'm just reading this as it is given by the historians about Muhammad's life as a general, and then we can go deeper into this to find out who attacked who first and who was on the defensive side. So there's a lot of hodgepodge and really have to search hard as just a scientific neutral person finding out what really happened. Then we can come to conclusions and judge later on, but for now gather this information, like why would Muhammad want to conquer Makkah, and where did I reach? The last army led by Muhammad before his death was in the Battle of Tabuk in October 630. So the last army led by Muhammad before his death was in the Battle of Tabuk. in October 630. So he led this army in the Battle of Tabuk. It's called the Battle of Tabuk. So by his death in 632, Muhammad had managed to unite most of the Arabian Peninsula, laying the foundation for the subsequent Islamic expansion under the caliphates and defining Islamic military jurisprudence. Background: Muhammad's role in the sacrilegious wars. In his prophetic biography, romanized as Siratun Nabawiyya, titled The Sealed Nectar, romanized Ar-Rahiq al-Makhdoom, Saifur Rahman Mubarakpuri cites in Ibn Hisham in saying that Muhammad took part in the sacrilegious wars, which took place between an alliance of the Quraysh and the Kinana and the Qais Aylan when he was 15, saying that his efforts were confined to picking up the arrows of the enemy as they fell and handing them over to his uncles. Events before the Hijrah. Muhammad proclaimed prophethood, Nabuwah, at the age of 40 to his tribe, the Quraysh in Makkah. After his followers were persecuted by the Quraysh, Muhammad ordered them to move to Abyssinia to seek refuge in 615, where they were welcomed with open arms by the Christians of Abyssinia, by the priest of the Christian, right? High priest or something they call it. After the death of his uncle Abu Talib in 619, Muhammad, the prophet of Islam, was lacking someone who provided him security in an increasingly hostile environment in Makkah. After several failed attempts to reach for tribes outside of Makkah, he contacted the Khazraj of Medina, then Yathrib. 6 of them converted to Islam. In Medina, they spread the word of Muhammad and Islam in February 621. A new delegation reached Makkah, among them 2 members of the Aus. And so it goes on like this. Let me see if I can deplete their readiness to wage war against Muhammad's enemies. So every time in the history here we see Islamic history that it was always the other, mostly always. But here in his end times, final years, he went against Byzantine Empire, sent several armies against Byzantine Empire, Ghassanids, and Levant, the Levant, and so these don't seem to be defensive wars to save the Muslims' lives or the believers' lives. But here the Muslim historians will tell us that he always led defensive wars, defensively fought. He did not lead any offensive war. He did not start a war. He was not aggressive. But because the Jews and the pagan Arabs gave him problems and wanted to kill him, that's why he was asked by Allah to defend himself, which is quite right, which is quite rational, and self-protection in every way is necessary. So we will have later on, I will hopefully continue with this if I can and am able to, but right now I just want to tell you that we should be asking those like Abu Sufyan, and with what we have at hand, right, all the from the Sunni hadiths that we have available to us. People like Muawiyah, Abu Sufyan, and those in contact with Prophet Muhammad, how he treated people, them, and how he treated his wives. Or was it that at times he was to be, like he was told by Omar, like, and no, he was treated, he was taken as a prophet of Islam rather than a husband, a normal husband. So that's why Umar and Abu Bakr and Umar, it is written in the Sunni hadiths that they slapped their daughters, Aisha and Hafsa, because we are told that they misbehaved, and it comes from Surah Tahrim. The explanations in the hadith, detailed uh, what happened there is given. Sorry, so my English now is deteriorating and I'm not prepared for this. So we are told to respect Prophet Muhammad and all this, and if you don't, then we will kill you, and that we are enemies of Islam. But that's not the thing. We are truth seekers, and we don't want to cause harm. In fact, we want to stop harm and things like that. So, and also encourage welfare for the people, their rights, and what they want to search for peacefully and believe in without harming others, even, being successful in life and living a great life. So we don't want to harm people. But if this Islam comes, and what we've seen has been happening over the years, it's going to be a disaster. And so we need to bring to light the truth about Islam and Prophet Muhammad. And then that's how it may show through Abu Sufyan or others that even Yazid, what actually happened. Maybe Prophet Muhammad, why didn't they really believe in Prophet Muhammad? But they tried to show that they practiced this religion. Maybe they were forced into it by Prophet Muhammad. And at that time, they didn't have a choice. And they're like Yazid or Ibn Ziyad. Like Yazid said to Bibi Zainab, in the end, at Sham, in the court of Yazid, he told Bibi Zainab that, I'm taking revenge for my forefathers in Badr, what your grandfather did to them. How your grandfather and your father Ali killed my forefathers in Badr. So were they really forced, or was it that the pagan Arabs, idolaters at that time, waged a war against Muhammad and the 313 Muslims, Mu'mins of Muhammad, or Allah? Mostly I would say Muhammad right now. And so, that's how I'm trying to get at the truth and find out from the other side what really happened, because this history doesn't give us a true picture of Muhammad. It's lopsided, it's a favorite, it's all, it favors Prophet Muhammad a lot, and if you insult Prophet Muhammad, then you can get killed. So my whole Shia Islam and Husseini, Imam Hussein's quest and cause, Allah's cause, all fails, comes tumbling down on me like a mountain, like an avalanche comes tumbling down on me. What was the true cause of Islam, and what was the true purpose of Imam Hussein against Yazid's army and against Yazid. So the great cause of saving humanity and saving the truth. comes tumbling down now like an avalanche on me, seeing that we had a lopsided view. We favored Rasulullah because, you see, the great person doesn't say that you should respect me and demand respect, and if someone doesn't respect me, I will kill you. Like I don't respect my father, he will kill me. So this is the thing. Great person never does that. Doesn't demand, doesn't need respect, but gives the truth anyways and gives guidance anyways. And if we are told at the cost of his own life, which Abraham was, that's why Abraham was supposed to sacrifice his son, and then later on was ransomed by a grand sacrifice, which is Imam Hussein's, then you don't care for people respecting you or what. The respect comes up very naturally. It doesn't come up by force. And then after you die, you don't tell your followers that if they don't respect me or honor me, kill them. Wherever you find them, just kill them. Or even like make them, intimidate them, their conditions, go after them, first speak to them a kind word, but show the proof. If you can find give us the proof that Muhammad was the true prophet of Allah, like that, right? Anyhow, I will hope you see all this, and then I will continue with this later. Thank you so much. Hope you forgive me, overlook the errors, omissions, the things that I've done, unintentionally and due to inarticulation and not being properly prepared for this, but out of my mind and what I have been thinking about over the years. So putting it very unprofessionally here, like friends seeking truth, okay, or even acquaintances, or even strangers meeting together for one cause, truth seeking and justice. Okay, thank you very much. God bless you all.